Hi, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. Glad to be back with you. Figured out how to get my camera screen back onto full, so this will be better. We're going to continue reading in our book, The Long Winter by Laura Ingalls Wilder. We're on chapter 32. So the regular train with all the supplies is coming in today. The next day, the second train came. After its departing whistle had died away, Pa and Mr. Bose came down the street carrying a barrel between them. They upended it, means stood it upright, through the doorway and stood it in the middle of the front room. "Here's the Christmas barrel," Pa called to Ma. He brought his hammer and began pulling out nails of the barrel head while they all stood around waiting to see what was in it. Pa took off the barrel head, that's the lid. Then he lifted away some thick brown paper that covered everything beneath. Clothes were on top. First, Pa drew out a dress of beautifully fine dark blue flannel. The skirt was full pleated, and the neat, well-boned basque was buttoned down the front with steel cut buttons. Now, the well-boned basque, that was the top part of the dress, like to the waist, up. Actually, probably just up chest high. And that was, I don't know if it was real well boned back then, but it was some sort of stick type things that helped the clothes fit nice and tight. "This is about your size, Carolyn," Pa beamed. "Here, take it." And he reached into the barrel again. He took out a fluffy light blue fascinator for Mary and some warm flannel underthings. He took out a pair of black leather shoes that exactly fitted Laura. He took out 5 pairs of white woolen stockings, machine knit. They were much finer and thinner than home knit ones. Then he took out a warm brown coat, a little large for Carrie, but it would fit her next winter. And he took out a red hood and mittens to go with it. Next came a silk shawl. "Oh, Mary," Laura said, "the most beautiful thing, a shawl made of silk. It's dove colored," that's kind of a light gray, "with fine stripes of green and rose and black, and the richest deep fringe with all those colors shimmering in it. Feel how soft and rich and heavy the silk is." And she put a corner of the shawl in Mary's hand. "Oh, it's lovely," Mary breathed. "Who gets this shawl?" Pa asked, and they all said, "Ma." Such a beautiful shawl was for Ma, of course. Pa laid it on her arm, and it was like her, so soft yet firm and well wearied. That means will last a long time, with fine bright colors in it. "We will all take turns wearing it," Ma said, "and Mary shall take it with her when she goes to college." "What is there for you, Pa?" Laura asked jealously. She was jealous for Pa. She wanted him to have something. For Pa, there were 2 fine white shirts and a dark brown plush cap. "That isn't all," said Pa, and he lifted out the barrel 2 little dresses. One was blue flannel. One was green and rose plaid. They were too small for Carrie and too big for Grace, but Grace would grow in to fit them. Then there was an ABC book printed on cloth, a small, shiny Mother Goose book of the smoothest paper with colored pictures on the cover. And in case you didn't know, there were not always color pictures in things. They were black and white for a long time. And then when they began putting color pictures in, every picture was not colored because the ink was so expensive. So this having a colored picture on the front was really important. There was a pasteboard box full of bright colored yarns and another filled with embroidery silks and sheets of perforated, that means there were holes in it, thin cardboard, silver colored and gold colored. Ma gave both boxes to Laura, saying, "You gave away the pretty things you had made. Now here are some lovely things for you to work with." Laura was so happy that she couldn't even say a word. The delicate silks though, caught on the roughness of her fingers, scarred from twisting hay, but the beautiful colors sang together like music, and her fingers would grow smooth again so that she could embroider on the thin, fine silver and gold. Now, I wonder what this can be, Pa said as he lifted from the very bottom of the barrel something bulky. I mean, it's kind of big and hard to handle, and lumpy, that was wrapped around and around with thick brown paper. Jerusalem crickets, Pa exclaimed. If it isn't our Christmas turkey, still frozen solid. He held the great turkey up where all could see, and fat, 15 pounds or I missed my guess, and as he let the mass of brown paper fall, it thumped on the floor, and out of it rolled several cranberries. And if there isn't a package of cranberries to go with it, said Pa. Carrie shrieked with delight. Mary clasped her hands and said, oh my. But Ma asked, did the groceries come for the stores, Charles? Yes, sugar and flour, dried fruit and meat. Oh, everything anybody needs, Pa answered. Well then, Mr. Boast, you must bring Mrs. Boast day after tomorrow, Ma said. Come as early as you can and we'll celebrate the springtime with a Christmas dinner. That's the ticket, Pa shouted while Mr. Boast threw back his head and the room filled with his ringing laugh. They all joined in, for no one could help laughing when Mr. Boast did. We'll come, you bet we'll come, Mr. Boast said. Christmas dinner in May? That'll be great, to feast after a winter darn near of fasting. Fasting is a time of not eating, not having a choosing not to eat. I'll hurry home and tell Ellie now. Well, that was an exciting and happy day for them. Tomorrow we'll be reading the last chapter of this book, so make sure and be here. All right, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. I want to pray blessings on you and yours, in your house, out of your house, in the day and in the night, and whatever you do, keep dreaming. Good night.